Welcome back. Concerns are growing in the Middle East of a widening war, with Iran-backed Hezbollah threatening to retaliate against Cyprus now if it helps Israel attack Lebanon. The Hezbollah leader saying Cyprus would be, quote, part of the war if it allowed Israel to use its airports and bases. Ports in Cyprus are being used to deliver aid to Gaza, but the U.S. ambassador to Cyprus is declining to say whether the country is also being used as a transit stop to send U.S. weapons to Israel. ABC's Inez de Lucatera is there in Cyprus now, joins me with more. Inez, you've been embedded with the U.S. military. Tell us a bit of what you've seen so far.
Hey, Phil. Yeah, so today we got to visit the port of Larnaca here in Cyprus, where members of the U.S. military and U.S. aid workers have been loading and inspecting the aid that is being sent to Gaza via sea to the J-Lot pier that's been built off the coast of Gaza. Now, it takes 14 hours for that aid to leave Cyprus and actually get to the pier, so it's a long journey, and officials here recognize that it is by no means the most efficient way to get aid into Gaza. They say this is just meant to supplement the aid that should be getting in via land. When it comes to those land crossings, though, we know that, there have been a number of issues, one of them being the inspections that are holding up the trucks trying to get into Gaza. And today we did get to see for ourselves how those trucks are being inspected. So they have these massive scanners that the trucks actually drive through, and once they are clear, you have aid workers, members of the military, who then will spray paint a check mark on each individual pallet to indicate that it is good to go. So quite a complex operation. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the aid that's being sent is ending up on beaches, kind of piling up on beaches, because the distribution operations there have been suspended because of the security situation on the ground. And I will say it is unclear how long this maritime humanitarian corridor can go on for. Initially, they had talked about wrapping it up by the end of July. There are now talks to possibly extend it. And the Cypriot foreign minister today did make headlines somewhat in saying that officials are discussing next long-term steps to keep that aid flowing to Gaza.
Bring us up to speed on why Hezbollah is pointing to Cyprus here specifically.
Yeah, so really interesting everything that's going on with Hezbollah. It all kind of first came to a boiling point there with the Hezbollah leader Nasrallah last week, saying that Cyprus would be considered part of the war if Cyprus were to aid Israel in attacking Lebanon. So I think that caught a lot of people here by surprise. Cyprus has long tried to remain neutral, and Cyprus is part of the European Union. So should Cyprus get dragged into this conflict, so would the EU. So that would certainly be a major turning point here. Cyprus, like I say, has long tried to remain neutral. They have been squarely focused, they say, on trying to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. But there have been reports that Cyprus is, very closely aligned with Israel. There were in 2022, the IDF and members of the Cyprus military held joint exercises, and there have been reports lately that Cyprus is also being used as a transit point for U.S. weapons to get to Israel. At this point, that is unconfirmed, but I did ask the U.S. ambassador to Cyprus about those reports. She declined to comment. She would only talk about the need for de-escalation in the region. So still lots of questions there, but it's those types of questions that are going to heighten tensions and prompt Hezbollah to then make these kinds of threats to Cyprus.
All right, Inez de Lucatera from Larnaca, Cyprus. Inez, thank you.